Hi there, this is Brett from Bird and Hollow talking about winter enclosures and winter watering our animals. These are our rams. They really like apples, so I'm giving them a little treat on this snowy morning so they can have some apples. And then we're going to give them a couple flakes of hay. There you go, Vince. And we're going to go through our water system and how we keep our animals watered in the winter despite freezing temperatures. So on this snowy morning we have a IBC tote that we leave here that is plumbed directly to the gutter, and we have this little light box here that is covered in polycarbonate, and there's a light bulb in the top here. So we do need power to keep the light on throughout the night and day. And we have a little string here to keep it upright. Oh, that needs to be tightened a little. And then the spigot is kept warm by that light bulb, that light box. You can see that the backing, there's a little bit of insulation, a little 3/4 inch insulation in there, framed out by little 1-inch stickers from some wood processing that we use. And then we have our heated bucket on the other side. So we need 2 outlets here available so we can keep them watered in the winter. Alright, here's our sophisticated rainwater collection for our animals. We use food grade totes that are 275 gallons, and we fill them up by using the downspouts and using some flexible tubing. Sometimes we plumb it with PVC or just more gutter, and you can fill up a couple of these, and then we have to use our skid steer to move them because they're over 2,000 pounds. But you could also do with smaller tanks if you wanted to. You do need to clean the insides of the tanks periodically just because stuff gets in there. But for the most part, it supplies us with year-round water wherever we want it for any of our animals on pasture. It's always good to use pallets to keep them a little above ground, and for ease of lifting when you're moving them around for your animals. Okay, here we are at one of our totes that are kind of on pasture here next to our goats and our guardian llama. And these totes help us prevent taking water from groundwater, so we enjoy not having to use that year-round. Again, we have to have power here, usually for our fence anyway, but also for the heated bucket. So both are plugged in, and we lift this back. We've found that a 75 watt bulb is enough. I'd like to buy ones that are a little bit more stronger, called the Tough Coat brand, but a 40 watt bulb will do it as well, not in extreme cold temperatures. And then we have water flowing, and while that bucket fills we can feed hay to the animals and then freshen their water. Here we are by the chicken water setup. You can see we got some hungry birds this morning. This is out in our pasture. And we drag that schooner around for 200 birds or so that are in there. And you can see similar setup. These are kind of important here, using these 1/4 inch self-tapping screws, so they screw into that metal plate that's on most totes.
but don't screw into the plastic behind it. Again, we kind of find these. This is actually one Molly did, which is done nicely with the electrical tape there to kind of hold its position. But you can see that the water outside is frozen through, but we got water flowing. And then the chickens have some waterers. Hold on, girls, hold on. The chicken have some waterers inside that are heated, and we prefer these red and blue ones from Premier One, where I've had to modify and kind of cut a hole in the top so we can easy fill them. They still need cleaning out every once in a while, but just that hole, and using some gallon jugs to fill with the water seems to work pretty well for our ladies on pasture. All right, here we are at our last tote on pasture. Again, notice that they're up on pallets for gravity's sake and 5-gallon bucket's sake. They are connected to our solar power from the barn, although on a day like today, late dusting, you're not going to get much solar gain. And these are for, this water is for our sheep and our dogs, and they seem to enjoy it, and maybe a rogue chicken or two. And this keeps them watered, and then we can feed them right around here. Oh, and there's one cow trying to get food and grain.